Hola, mis amigos, ¿cómo están? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Mexico again. They've just completed their third qualifying game of this month, of the month of January. Technically it's February now, but we won't get into that. They've got a 1-0 victory against Panama, which on the face of it is a really, really, really good result, obviously considering the results, the previous results, the draw against Costa Rica was pretty terrible. The win against Jamaica was good, what a game. I mean, some people say that Mexico had a bad game. Mexico have been off for a long time, since probably since before the summer, when we lost to the USA all those times. But we won't talk about that. But this game was actually pretty good, I thought. It was just missing a goal. Most possession, most of the shots. I mean, Mexico controlled this game pretty much. Panama didn't really trouble Mexico until the last few minutes, when there was 6 minutes added on and Mexico got a little bit nervy. But I thought they had a good game. It was just that they couldn't score, and that's the issue, really. Is Mexico has struggled to score. Partly it's because of Raul's injury. He hasn't been the same since he's got back. He scored a couple of goals for Wolves since he's been back, but um, hasn't really troubled any keeper really since he's come back. And he came back like in September, so he's been a good what, few months now, 6 months now. Um, but he managed to get this goal. Obviously, we got a penalty and he scored it. I mean, mate, if you go on YouTube and there's a video where it shows every single, I think, all 53 or 54 goals that he's scored for Wolves in it. And there's like 10 penalties or something, and you watch them back to back, and he takes his penalties in the exact same way. It's actually quite funny. Sometimes he goes right, left, but most of the time he goes right, and he went right this time. Yeah, it was just funny because it's like, bro, he scored so many goals, penalties, exactly like that. It's weird, but really funny as well because obviously it works. I think he's only missed a couple penalties in his career since he's moved to Wolves, so for club and country. So he's a very, very good penalty taker. Um, and he needed that goal. So hopefully that kicks him on now, and he goes back to Wolves, score a couple of goals for Wolves, and then comes back in February, late this month, I think, or March maybe. I think it's March. For the last three goals, the last three games, sorry. Beginning of which is the USA game, but I'll get into that in a minute. So hopefully he kicks on now and he starts scoring goals, because I think if he starts scoring for his club again, it will help him with Mexico. Mexico needs it because we don't. I mean, Chucky in front of goal isn't doing that great. I think Vegas scored. I think Vegas scored the most goals for Mexico since the summer. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's scored the most. And he scored against Jamaica, which was good. I think he did score against Jamaica, didn't he? Or did he set it up? I can't remember. I can't even remember the Jamaica game, to be honest with you. My memory goes back to the Costa Rica game, and that's it. Um, but I think he scored a fair few goals, especially with the Olympics as well. So, um, yeah, the starting lineup. Let's go into that. I thought it was pretty good. Artiega on the left, in the back four. The rest of the back four was okay. I would have liked to have seen Vasquez there. Um, he's in Europe now. Like, he's in the city, like in the most defensive league in the world. He's going to learn, and it has learned so much already. You can just tell. He's going to be Mexico's starting centre back at some point. You might as well just chuck him in there now. Um, don't know why he hasn't, but it is what it is. I think Tata's just holding on to the other players for as long as dear life. It was good to see Artega on the left back. Vega on the obviously left, Jimenez at the front, and Chucky on the right. I think that was a pretty good attacking lineup, to be honest. Although Tecatito, I think, had a decent game um, against Costa Rica and Jamaica as well. Um, Tecatito is like the best Tecatito we've seen in months, and that's purely because he's moved to Sevilla, like I said in previous videos. Um, I felt a little bit hard done by that he didn't come on. He didn't even come off the bench. Maybe he said, "Look, I'm feeling a bit of a twinge. Can we just not try it so that I can go back to Sevilla?" Because he really needs to cement his place in Sevilla and then do start having fun in Sevilla, because um, he's had a terrible time in the last few months with Porto. He needs to get his confidence back. He needs to get his feel good factor back. And if that means missing this game out, then so be it. In my opinion, Vega's more than able to take over for him. And obviously, Chicken on the right, I think this is probably his best position. Or I prefer Chicken on the left. I like him cutting in. Bit like Alexis Sanchez did for Arsenal way back when. So I think the front three was pretty decent, to be honest with you. And I knew Gardado was going to start this game. I tweeted out way before the game. I think he's got like 5 appearances now where he can break the all-time record. I think him and Tata Martino are trying to break that record. It'd be quite cool actually. I love Gardado, but I'm very surprised that he lasted the whole game. Romo came on very late in the game, and Romo, he's a good player, but he doesn't play that well for Mexico, in my opinion. I would have expected Gennaro to come off for him. I'm very surprised that he stayed the whole game, but I'm not surprised that he started. Like, I think he's going to start all the other 3 games that are coming up, or at least play in them. I think they want to break that record. And for me, Gennaro didn't do that much wrong. It's just, you could blatantly tell when he's tired. When it gets to the hour mark and he started the game, and you could just tell that he's not quite the same. So it would have been nice to really freshen up the midfield then, but it is what it is. Who else? Julian Araujo. Let's talk about the subs. So Julian Araujo and Linez came off the bench, turned the game upside down. To be honest with you, it's amazing what a couple of really young, hungry players do to energize the squad. Especially Julian Araujo. There's a GIF that Brian posted of him making a really good tackle. And he did that a few times actually. He's really good defensively, but he's also quite good offensively, and he did a couple of good crosses into the box that obviously didn't materialize. But you could just tell that he's going to be starting right back, and he needs to be in the position to where he's getting game time. I fully expect him to either start or make an appearance in the USA game. And Linez as well, he obviously got tackled in the box. I thought it was a penalty. Was it soft? Yeah, sure, but there was contact. There was contact. If you make a contact in the box, it doesn't have to be a leg breaker. It doesn't have to be a super obvious thing. If there's contact in the box, then bro, you're gonna risk a penalty. So, and he didn't get the ball. He just got Linez. So, it was a penalty in my opinion. But then I'm slightly biased, so you can argue with me in the comments if you want. But yeah, he had a really good game in my opinion. Really quick, really decisive. It's difficult, isn't it? Because you want that from a substitution in the 60th, 70th minute. You want pace and quick and vitality. But do you risk starting him at the game and risk losing that later on in the game? So it's a bit of a debate whether he needs to start games or not. Some people do want to see him start, which I do. But I like to see him come off the bench and absolutely ruin tired defenders. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But him and Julian Araujo did really well. Really well, actually. They were the highlight of the game for me. The result, obviously, means I'm still tied with USA because they beat Honduras, I think it was. So that USA game, man, that's going to be a massive game. 11 points. I don't even know if if Canada scored, if they won the game. Sorry, my brain went weird then. I don't know whether Canada won their game. If they did, then they've pretty much secured promotion, or I think qualification already. But if they didn't win, then they're obviously on 22 points. Now I think Mexico and the US are tied on 21 points. And I think Panama's behind them. I need to look at this one. Let me just look it up in a second because I want to see. Let me just have a look. Well, they did win. So Canada's on 25 points, USA and Mexico tied on 21, Panama's on 17 behind them. So it's looking like it's going to be Canada, Mexico, and USA. But that Mexico USA game is going to be huge because Mexico are on a bit of a weird run at the moment. But USA are on a bit of a wobble as well. I mean, they lost against Canada quite convincingly. They did beat Honduras, so, it's a good result for them. But bro, bro. I mean, I mean, I would say that USA are probably going to be more up for this game because they've beaten Mexico like 3 times. But to be honest with you, if Mexico wins that game, then I really don't care about those 3 losses because this game is the most important one. Because if we win this game, then obviously we're on to 24 points. They stay on 21 with 3 points clear, with 2 games left to go. So it's going to be really interesting final 3 rounds. To be honest with you guys, I think it's. I mean, if Panama loses, if they draw, depends on what. Let me just have. There's another team. Let me look at the rest of the row. Obviously, Costa Rica are on 16 points. So yeah, I mean Panama. If Panama loses and Costa Rica loses, then that's pretty much it. They need to lose like one more game, I think, and then they're pretty much out. So yeah, I mean, like I said, the last 3 games are going to be super, super exciting, super stressful. Um, I would be mad if it was Canada, USA, Mexico that go through. I think that's what it looks like. Jamaica have only got 7 points. Salvador have only got 9 points. So they're pretty much out. And Honduras only has 3. So, feel sorry for Honduras. I think they had more promise, but yeah, this is the USA game. Let me just have a look at the. So we've got the USA. Pictures. There we have a look. So yeah, we've got USA coming up next, and then there is where is it? Yeah, so USA coming up next, and Honduras and El Salvador. Mate, if we get a draw out of that USA game and then win Honduras away, but if USA can do it, then Mexico can certainly do it, and then El Salvador. And the Honduras and El Salvador games are crucial because we've beaten them both already. And the El Salvador one's at home, but we struggle at home at the moment. Like as you can tell, we got we got the win against Jamaica, we got the draw against Costa Rica, so 2 wins and a draw. People saying 7 points from these 3 games, so technically we're on track. It's just the performances in the games have been a bit off. But yeah, I mean, if we win that USA game and then win Honduras, then we pretty much got the second spot. Unless Canada loses, then we might pick first. But yeah, that USA game is gonna be absolutely huge. Like I said, if we can win that game, like I said, I don't really care about the 3 cup losses that we took to them in the summer. That becomes irrelevant in my opinion. If we draw that game, it's not a big deal. If we can beat Honduras, and the Panama game goes our way as well. But it's going to be interesting. But yeah, like I said, it was a really good game for Mexico. I think I think it was Jahir that said that Mexico, this is their best performance for a long time, and I agree with him completely. It might have been Jamie, I can't remember. Sorry, guys. But somebody said that this is the best Mexico played in for a long time, and I agree. Like they controlled the game. They passed the ball really well. It was just sometimes you just struggle to score. Vega had a couple of shots. They went wide and over the bar. Tricky as well. Jimenez was a bit quiet in this game, in my opinion. But there are games where you do everything right except for scoring. And Panama sat back like Costa Rica did. It's obvious how to play against Mexico now. You sit back, you frustrate them. You know they're not going to score, and then you hit them on the counter attack. That's why I think Trinidad Araujo, Lainez, Martega, all these young players need to start games because they'll start straight off attacking, and I think teams like Panama, Costa Rica are going to struggle with Mexico actually running at them and doing really good passes and having some decent shots. Although Keylor Navas, you have to be a special striker with a special shot to beat Keylor Navas. So yeah, so far, I mean, performances aside, so far so good. 7 points out of 9. Like Jamaica, arguably should have on paper would have been the hardest game, I think, but Costa Rica obviously was or is always a difficult game, but they're not their best, Costa Rica. And then Panama, we should be beating Panama at home, like it's standard. Um, so we're in a good position now. I think we're like 4 points clear of Panama. Um, I think it's going to be a really good World Cup if Mexico, Canada, and the USA all go into the World Cup. They will take that rivalry in there with them. They'll inject that rivalry and into that um, tournament. Don't get me wrong, I would absolutely laugh my head off if USA somehow manages to mess it up again. They could get 3 L's or 2 L's and a draw. That would be hilarious. So if the Panama win the rest of their games, they could pip them. That would be hilarious. That'd be so funny. But at the same time, looking at the tournament from trying to be a neutral, um, Canada, Mexico, and USA, together brings an extra spice to the tournament. So we'll have to wait and see. But that game, that's all in March. Just seeing here, 24th for my dates because I'm a few hours ahead, so it's always a day ahead. So for me, it's 24th, 27th, and 30th of March. I think it's probably the 23rd, 26th, and 29th. Um, so we'll have to. Those games are going to be huge. So we'll have to wait and see for them. But I hope you guys enjoyed this qualifying round. I know it's been a bit of a stressful one. 3 goals conceded. 1 goal. No, sorry, 3 goals scored. 1 goal conceded in 3 games isn't that great, but no losses. Crucially, no losses. So yeah, let's bring that form and get improving. And Tata Martino, I mean, there's a whole debate whether he got sacked if he had lost this game. I don't think so. I don't think that he would have got sacked if he had lost against Panama. Um, for me, he's got to the end of this qualifying round no matter what he does, no matter what happens, and definitely not now because if we won, then we're still very very much in the run. But I don't think he was ever going to get sacked if we lost 2-0 against Panama. I don't think that makes him lose his job because we've still got 3 games left. There's still 9 points up for grabs. Um, I think for me it's the USA game. If he manages to lose 4 times in a row to your main rivals, then that's a sackable offence. But then, do you sack him then, or do you wait to see the last 2 games, the Honduras and El Salvador games? Because if he wins those two, that's still 6 points. We still could get in. So if he wins those two, loses against the USA, but still manages to get into the World Cup, even then I don't think that gets him sacked. I think he will get sacked if he loses all 3 of the next 3 games and doesn't qualify. The not qualifying will be the bit that gets him sacked. It won't be losing a game. It will be the not qualifying, and it will be a convenient time to sack him as well because obviously if they don't qualify, which I believe they will. I mean, I think we can get a point out of USA at home. They always struggle to come to Azteca and get a result. Um, because the previous 3 times we've lost, it's all been the USA, so that's worth keeping an eye on. But I think we're gonna win all these 3 games. To be honest with you, but even if they lose all 3 games and don't qualify, um, obviously the FMF will have the whole of the summer to sack him and then look for. They'll have loads of time actually because obviously the World Cup will be going on. They'll have loads of time to think of somebody else to come in. But I don't see that happening. Mexico, for me, are going to qualify quite comfortably, in the sense that they'll be in the top 3. And I think there's a 4th spot up to grabs as well. But I don't want to be faffing around with the qualifying round. I just want to qualify. From my understanding, is the top 3 go through, and then the 4th one that has to do with qualifying. Panama can fight that out with whoever it is. I don't really care about that. So it's a bit of a moot question, really. But I think what I'm trying to say is that the only way Tata's getting sacked is if we don't qualify for the World Cup. Because it's actually a perfect time to sack a coach internationally because you've got months then to find somebody else. Because obviously the World Cup doesn't start till November, so that's 6 months away, 7 months away. And then you've got the World Cup, and then you've got a few months until the next friendly, or a couple of months till the next friendly. So, That's the only time I see him getting sacked. If we do go and make it to the World Cup and we get crushed out of the group stage, then he'll get sacked. Which I think is more like the most likely thing to happen for me is Mexico definitely will qualify. I think, and then we'll just fail in the group stage because that's what happened to Osorio, if I'm not mistaken. Um, I can't remember what got Osorio sacked, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened to Osorio. Um, we made it out of the group stage, if I remember rightly, but then we got knocked out the first round of the knockout stage, I think it was in 2018. That got him sacked. So I think if Mexico keep playing the way they are, then we're probably not going to make it out of the group stage, and then he will get sacked. So he will get sacked at some point soon, I think. It's just not going to be anything to do with qualifiers. Anyway, I've rambled on for 20 minutes, so I'm pretty sure you guys got bored of that already. So yeah, that's pretty much all of what I've got to say right now. Hopefully Chucky Lozano is not too injured. Hopefully it's just a sprain or something. He can go back to Napoli and start balling for them. So yeah, guys, see you for World Cup qualifying in the end of March, and I hope you guys are good. And leave a comment below, leave a like if you want to leave one. We'll have a discussion on the team, the progress, Tata Martino. We'll have to talk about all of them things. So take it easy, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Adios.